Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Noman Hussain from Vassam. I'm here with Rosemary from Show the Truth. And so I just saw them on Victoria Park in Danforth with their signs about abortion. So I just want to ask her some questions today about what they're doing. So Rosemary, can you tell us how you got started?
We started Show the Truth about 20 years ago when we found the technology to enlarge the abortion victim photographs. So we go to busy street corners with the photographs of aborted children's remains and try and talk to people, and we understand the power of visuals. We realize that people learn a great deal through visual education, and we have found that the actual photographs have a definite impact on people.
So these are, this is, I don't know if you guys can see it, I'll have a picture of it later, but this is a picture from an actual abortion?
Yes, it is. It's a documented picture of the remains of a child after an abortion. This is a second trimester abortion. Okay. We also show pictures of a child that was aborted in the first trimester at 10 weeks.
Yeah, so it says the baby is 21 weeks preborn. So that's probably how many months altogether? Like
about 5 months.
About 5 months. So yeah, are you guys a Christian organization?
Well, we don't see this as a Christian issue. We see it as a human rights issue. Okay. These children are executed simply because of their age, or their location, or their size. Right.
And where's your organization from?
We're from all over the place. We gather together in the summer, sometimes on Saturdays and other places, and we focus on particular busy intersections like this. We're from across the province.
Because I don't think I've seen you guys in Toronto. Is this your first time here?
Oh, no. We do Toronto at least every second year.
Okay. So, yeah, what I want to know is, like the science behind all of this, right? Because a lot of people talk about the heartbeat, right? Some people mention that as soon as the baby's heart starts beating, that's when it becomes wrong. And then some people say when the baby starts kicking in the womb. So do you guys have an opinion on that? Like, when does it become wrong to abort a baby?
From conception on.
From conception?
At conception, the child is a unique individual, unique DNA, developing exactly the way nature wants the child to develop, exactly the size they should be. They are a unique individual at the moment of conception.
So what do you say to the people that say that it's the woman's body and that she should have the right to do whatever she wants with it?
Well, none of us have the right to do whatever we want. All of our rights are limited by the effect they have on someone else. This little child was in the mother's body, but not part of the mother's body. A woman's womb is a unique organ. So without conceiving a child, she never uses her womb for anything but for her children. So a child they're a unique individual, and at that time they're placed in her womb until they develop to the point that they're born.
I just want to say some criticism that people would often give you, I'm guessing. So a lot of people would say that people who are considering abortion should not have kids to begin with, right? So if you're considering abortion, you should probably get one just because you don't really want to raise the kid, right? So a lot of people, they're not ready to have kids. They might have made an accident. Don't you think it might be better off for them to...
It's never better to kill a child. I know, we're realistic. We understand that some situations are quite difficult. We don't deny that. Some mothers are in very difficult situations. We say that as a compassionate society, we help those mothers.
But like a lot of people, they're addicted to drugs, or a lot of women that are just definitely not ready to have kids by any means. What are they supposed to do?
By the time they're pregnant, they do have a child.
Right.
The child is in their womb. They do have a child.
But what are they supposed to do after?
Get help. A lot of people will adopt children of crack mothers. There are people that wait up to 10 years to adopt a child. And it's not, very often people are willing to take a child that has a disability or a handicap. They understand what they're taking on, and they're quite willing to do that. So a mother needs, if we just say to mothers, please be generous for a few months. If they find out that they are pregnant at 4 months, please give your child 5 more months. And people will care for your child. We'll help. If you can raise your child, we'll help. If you can't raise your child can be placed for adoption. There's always a better answer. To kill a child is never the right answer because of circumstances.
Right. What do you think of birth control?
Birth control fails. Even if you read the pamphlet that comes with the birth control, they will always tell you the failure rate. And unfortunately, in our society, they use abortion as a backup to contraception when it fails.
But do you recommend contraception?
Wait, that's our issue is abortion of a child.
But like as far as contraception, you wouldn't tell a girl to take like a Plan B pill?
No, because that kills a child could possibly die with
But then
Plan B.
I thought like Plan B just prevents a child from being born to begin with.
No, there's several things it does. It can stop ovulation. Sometimes it stops the little baby from implanting in the womb. But the child's already conceived at that point. They're conceived before the implant in the womb.
So, do you guys believe that sex should happen after marriage?
I think that's the ideal situation for everybody involved.
Is that like the opinion of your organization?
We don't have an opinion on that.
You don't have an opinion on that?
We keep our job as simple as we can. The message is simple. This is what abortion looks like. When you see this child, could abortion possibly be right?
Right.
You know, do you have the information? Do you know when the child's heart starts to beat? Do you know all the facts?
Well,
Because when you have the facts,
right.
very often, people should have the facts.
Yeah.
In this day and age, particularly women that are headed to abortion, they should have the facts. You wouldn't face any other surgery and not have all the facts. And yet so often, we had a woman yesterday that told us that she had an abortion 20 years ago, and she said the doctor didn't even explain things to her. She said, I only needed 5 minutes of explanation. 5 minutes would have explained it to me, and I wouldn't have aborted my child. Can you
Wow.
imagine the grief for 20 years? All she needed was some compassionate person, possibly the doctor, spend 5 minutes with her and give her the facts.
What do you think about condoms?
We have no opinion on it.
No opinion on that?
No.
Okay, so like what message would you give to like girls in high school or college that are sort of experimenting and having casual sex?
We'd say live your life properly so it doesn't have an impact on someone else.
Okay.
Don't do something that could possibly harm someone else.
Right.
We've
Okay.
talked to those girls in high school. I talked to a little girl a few years ago, and she told me she waited for the long time till all of the rest of the students went in, and she stood beside a tree and she came to us and she was crying.
Right.
And she said that how she had been pregnant 3 times and her parents forced her into an abortion she didn't want. And she said the 4th time she hid her pregnancy for so long that she finally pleaded with her parents and she was allowed to have her 3rd child, or 4th child. And then she told me that she wasn't even 17 yet.
Wow.
So I had to say to her, don't live your life in a way that you're going to harm someone else and yourself.
So, yeah, just a couple more questions. So you have like this growing feminist community out there that they believe like it's a feminist mandate to be anti-abortion or pro-choice. What do you guys think of feminism as a whole?
I think feminism has changed from its roots. In the beginning, feminism was to protect women, to care for their children. It's taken on a very radical anti-life sense to it. Very few young women anymore will tell you they're a feminist because it doesn't have a good vibe anymore. Couldn't be a feminist if you agree with harming women and harming babies. An abortion harms women. It harms them physically sometimes, it harms them spiritually sometimes, it harms them emotionally. We talk to the women that have had abortions and they remember every detail of the harm. It could be years ago. It can't be good for women when you replay all the harm and the guilt and the worry. And it's not good for women. It's not good. Nothing that hurts a child could ever be good for the mother.
Right.
Because there isn't a conflict between mother and child. What's good for the mother is good for the child.
So yeah, what's next for Show the Truth? What are you guys gonna do?
Well, we don't disclose our agenda.
Right.
We just hope that we go to places where we have some kind of an impact on people, and we do. We have a story of one woman that saw us in a smaller town, and she wasn't very happy. She swore at us, and she drove around the block, and she swore at us again. Nobody dies from being sworn at, we're tough. And 7 years later, she found out she was pregnant with twins. She wasn't really planning it in her life. A doctor said, we'll have an abortion. And she said the only reason she didn't was because she remembered the pictures 7 years later. And I met her twins last weekend. They were a year old yesterday. She would give up her life now for those twins. All she remembered was the picture. No facts, no doctor gave her any information. He just offered abortion. And yet in her mind she remembered the picture. That's the power of the picture.
So do you guys, like, how do you guys work? Is there like a Facebook group that you guys all connect on and people can join you guys and then you guys meet up in random places or something?
It's
or?
more personal connections.
More
It's
personal.
a small group with people that they know that have the same set of beliefs. We have a statement of non-violence that
Right.
everybody signs for us, because violence is never a solution to the violence of abortion.
Right.
We never, say that someone should be harmed in this, in the abortion movement. Everyone has to agree that it's a non-violent reaction to the terrible violence of abortion. And we have a set of rules. We never go out into the traffic. We don't shout at people. We don't stand in people's way. If people stop and talk, we're more than happy to have a discussion.
How's the reception been in Toronto so far?
In a whole spectrum. I've got this corner, I find it's very pro-life, very accepting.
Well, that's because there are a lot of
very
minorities here,
knowledgeable.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm really pleased. We've done Danforth 3 times.
Right.
This particular corner is very, very pro-life. People understand that they have the facts. They understand the issue. They see the harm to children and the harm to mothers, the harm to families.
Yeah, well, most Muslims, I think, most Muslims, Christians for sure, I don't know about Jews, but they're all like religiously pro-life, right? So this is like a very minority-oriented community.
But they know the facts too.
Yeah, yeah. But I think a majority of them do come from a religious standpoint. Is it different talking to like minorities about abortion than it is
Well,
like?
it usually is.
Yeah?
Yes. They're much more family-oriented.
Right.
They know the value of a child. They understand the struggle. All parents struggle.
Right.
They understand that you struggle for the sake of your family, and that their children, they appear to be valuable to them, and wanted and loved.
Right.
Yeah, it's quite uplifting to be here. It's actually, the whole world does not believe in killing babies. Here's people that know that it's so harmful.
Yeah. Have you guys been to downtown yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Well, we have other years.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We,
I
we
feel
get a mixed reaction. We get everything from people that are very supportive. We had a woman yesterday came along and wanted to stand with us. So
Really?
as long as she agreed that, it's non-violent, here's our code of conduct. We get people that are curious. We get a lot of women that are very hurt by abortion. Very, very hurt. They've never told anybody else. Because we're strangers. They've never
Right.
told their families. Some of them have never told their husbands. We're strangers. They can talk to us. They can, they can cry. And then when they go away, they know that, they can go on with the secret grief in their life.
Right.
We get that right up to the people that threaten us, try to hide our message, won't discuss it.
Are most of the people that are angry at you women or men?
I wouldn't say it's one or the other.
No.
I would say that very often a very strong reaction is someone who's been very close to abortion. They've had an abortion, they've taken someone for an abortion, their girlfriend has aborted their child. We've talked to older people they've lost grandchildren to abortion. Usually a very strong reaction is they've been close to the issue and they've not settled themselves with it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for today.
You're welcome.
Let's see.